Sonya.
I'm Beverly.
And I'm Kate.
And today we're dishing with you from the Federalist, located at 1177 15th Street Northwest.
And the menu here is inspired by the traditional dishes that you can find in the Mid-Atlantic region. We have a fabulous charcuterie board, we have the Monticello salad, the Chesapeake rockfish, and something for dessert called a syllabub. And it is absolutely fabulous. You won't believe how they make it here.
The Federalist is celebrating its first anniversary and also some unique inaugural dishes right here in the Madison Hotel.
And our guest today is the chef de cuisine at the Federalist. It's Harper McClure with his selection of yummy things to share with us. But first, before we really get started, we want to know what your feeling is here at the Federalist. What's the taste palette that you bring us here?
Our approach to the food here at the Federalist is really about sort of bringing the food back to the agrarian roots of the Mid-Atlantic region. We source a lot of heirloom vegetables from farms around Virginia, Pennsylvania, a couple here in Maryland as well. And we really just want to bring the flavor of the farm, the flavor of this region to our guests here at the hotel and our locals here in Washington, D.C.
The minute you walk in, you get a very kind of old-style American meets old-style European.
Absolutely.
But
it's Thomas Jefferson, right?
It's the old establishment, just like my drink here. But you get a very kind of old-timey feeling, but you're not necessarily. I mean, tell us a little bit about how you fix modern food and with your.
My background has always very much been fine dining, and so. The challenge that we have here is how can we take these ingredients and these dishes from the 1800s and bring them up to the modern times, and it's actually not that difficult. We really just feature the ingredients. We have very talented cooks in the back who are actually pretty handy with a knife, so we can kind of get the different knife cuts that we want, and like a quenelles here on our charcuterie board, and the ingredients are really simple, and you just kind of let the artistry take its form.
Now, you said that this rockfish is one of the dishes that is kind of a signature dish here.
Yeah.
Would you say that seafood is something that people should not miss on the menu, or you
I'm always proud of our seafood dish, especially the rockfish. I think for the Mid-Atlantic region, this is very indicative. I mean, it's rockfish with crab meat and a crab sauce. So
I know, it looks incredible.
It's so it's a seared piece of rockfish on top of a Carolina gold rice, which is an heirloom varietal from South Carolina. We fix in a risotto style, and then finish that with jumbo lump crab meat, and then a crab butter sauce around.
Nice.
I have to ask, I'm dying to know.
This
is a dessert.
Yeah. Yes.
What is in it? It's
okay.
beautiful.
So it's a syllabub, and syllabub is kind of a classic English cocktail. It dates back to the 16th century.
Okay, so we're supposed to know what this is? Because I've never heard of this before.
No. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
In the 16th century, they used to take, they would take sweet wine in a bucket, take it out to the back, and milk a cow directly into it. And the churning action would kind of whip it up into this frothy cocktail. So we took that, we said, well, let's make a dessert out of it. So we take late harvest Chardonnay with heavy cream, sugar, and we just whisk it till it's just set enough to pour into a glass. And the fruit that we serve with it changes seasonally. Right now we're serving it with spiced Asian pears. On our next menu, we're going to serve it with caramelized banana and gingerbread crumble on top of it.
Nice.
Ooh, when does that happen?
Yeah.
Next week. We start desserts next week.
We're excited.
We will come back every time you change the fruit out. How about that for the syllabub?
We change it every couple of months. We serve with different fruit.
Awesome. All right,
to have that.
That's very old-timey.
Yes, exactly.
Is it something that you get out of old cookbooks? Like you were talking about, these old recipes. Do you scour the Library of Congress for these ideas? How does that come up?
When we first opened, before we were opening, I had a good 3 months of preparation time before we opened the restaurant. And we checked out Martha Washington's cookbook and the first American cookbook and the Monticello cookbook that Thomas Jefferson. We looked at the State Department dinners that he used to host at Monticello, and kind of saw what they were doing. We have a turtle soup on the menu here, which is very indicative of the Maryland region. Obviously, we're not serving terrapin because that's an endangered species, but we found a source for snapping turtle from Louisiana, and we kind of do a classic Pennsylvania Dutch turtle soup that's inspired by that. I would say now we're really just focused on ingredients in our kitchen and sort of taking everything back to the farm and letting that inspire us in all of our menu preparations.
So Thomas Jefferson was a gentleman farmer, and you're sort of a gentleman farmer. That's part of your background, right? You worked on a farm for a while?
I did work on a farm. I grew up in farm country. I mean, where I came from, Actually, 3 doors down from my parents' house was an organic farm. I worked with them for a year or so and really drew inspiration from how much, just how much work they put in. It's really crazy. But how much they care about what they produce, and so much effort and labor and love goes into the production of the food that for us to mess it up would be terrible.
And it's not only the food, the drinks. You call that the old establishment or the establishment?
The old establishment and Death and Taxes.
Death and Taxes.
Which we're particularly excited about.
What is that?
It's caramelized W2 is what we are.
These are your inauguration cocktails. How long are they going to be on the menu?
These will be on the menu through inauguration for sure, and then we'll see whatever the response is. I've had the Death and Taxes. It'll put you on the floor.
I was just about to ask, what's in it?
That's a combination of rum, Corbier, and burnt orange peel.
Ooh, nice.
But coming here, you guys have been open now for just about a year.
Right.
1 year.
Right.
And that's a big deal. The first anniversary is a big deal. But there's so many different types of restaurants in DC. I really see that a lot of restaurants are kind of now following this model. We like, historic food. We like to go back in time and to imagine that we were living in the good old days. What's next for this restaurant? How does it take its good old days forward?
What's next for this restaurant? Well, we just launched Sunday Supper, which we've paired with eco-friendly foods from, they're based out of Virginia. Beverly Eggleston is kind of this rock star farmer. If you ever meet him, you'll never forget him, that's for sure. And he just launched a nonprofit to kind of help other farmers follow his business model. So we're donating a portion of our profits to his nonprofit. So every Sunday we feature a different protein, whether it's fried chicken, we were doing porchettas, and everything's served family style, lots and lots of sides, but country inspired, so like big bowls of Brussels sprouts or mashed potatoes or potato salad or something like that. And kind of just hang out in the price. You can't beat the price. It's $35 a person. I guarantee I'll put more food on the table than you can eat. We don't say all you can eat, but you'll walk out of here stuffed. Guaranteed.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting.
It does.
Well, I just want to dig right in, so I can't think of any other things I want to ask you. Anybody else have something before we just
is this your favorite of the lot?
On the table? I think that's the one that will surprise you the most because it's so simple, but it's so delicious.
I can't wait to try it.
Go at it.
Can we each have one? Because I can't promise that they're going to get a taste of it.
In the back.
Yeah.
All right, Chef, thanks so much for having us. We can't wait to dig in, as we said, and we've learned a lot. So thanks for giving us a little education.
Thank you.
As always, thank you for watching us right here on the District Dish. You can follow us on Facebook, be our fan on Twitter, and see who we're dishing with next time.